Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while I made a video. I'm so sorry about that. I've been very busy with life and with work. In my previous video, I spoke about how people reason about someone becoming a farmer and how they think that farming is only meant for people who are underprivileged, but this is not so. In today's video, I want to talk about a very critical topic. As an advocate for sustainable food system and zero hunger, which is SDG 2, have been thinking extensively on the reason why there is high increase in hunger and malnutrition in Africa. And I came to realize that in addition to climate change, which has affected agricultural production, food preference is one of the reasons why there is extreme hunger and malnutrition in Africa. Africa is a home to wealth of indigenous food that have sustained communities for centuries. In Nigeria alone, there are thousands of indigenous food, and according to the UN data, 450 indigenous food has been documented already in southeastern part of Nigeria. But due to globalization and civilization, food preference has drifted from traditional food to what is so-called modern food, which has been impacted by climate change and other factors that have made it inaccessible to certain group of individuals in the country. Now the question is, with all these numerous indigenous food, why is there still hunger and malnutrition in the country? To answer this question, there are several reasons for this, but coming down to the topic for today, I will say that one, dependency on imported food is one of the reasons for this. Secondly, food choices and food preference on the so-called modern food is also a reason for increase in hunger and malnutrition. And thirdly, climate change. Now, coming down to our indigenous food. Indigenous food are those food that are peculiar to a particular place, region, or tribe. These food have lots of nutrients. They have the essential nutrients that support general well-being and health of human. But because it is not being eaten and because it is not highly in demand, farmers do not produce this food any longer. We just have few farmers that produce this food. And from my research, I have found that our local food is even becoming more expensive than it was before. Reason because the little people that know the benefit of this indigenous food try to purchase it, but the production is really on the small scale. We have just few farmers that are into producing our indigenous food. I'm making this video to bring our mind to our indigenous food, the benefit we can get from the indigenous food, and also to encourage farmers to start growing our local food, because that is one of the ways we can use to combat hunger in Nigeria and also in other parts of Africa. Because one, as a farmer, when you are growing indigenous food, you have little or no problem with climate change, because this indigenous food are naturally resilient to climate change and harsh environment. Most of these indigenous food, when you are growing them, you spend little or nothing in the maintenance because the adaptability is already there. Unlike the new breeds that we have, because the new breeds of plants requires lots of techniques before you can grow them, but it is not so with indigenous food. So that's why I said indigenous food is a way out for us in this time of climate change. Additionally, indigenous food has the potential to solve our nutritional demand. It can reach our nutritional demand both in children and in adults. Indigenous food is loaded with lots of nutrients, be it vitamin, protein, minerals. They are rich in nutrients and can reach our nutritional demands. Also, growing indigenous food helps to enhance the soil and the traditional food system and improve the local economy. So let's try to incorporate our local food in our meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And also, if you know of any farmer that is into producing our local food, try as much as possible to support them in any little way you can, because our indigenous food plays a big role in the food system and also in the environment. The earlier we start to eat our indigenous food is the better for us. Thank you so much for listening, and see you in my next video. Bye.